Hey friends, how's it going? It's Alex of Coyote Astrology, and this is my video for the new moon in Leo coming in this weekend. It's going to be on Sunday around 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You'll want to adjust for your current location, but honestly, kind of the whole weekend is this new moon in Leo energy. And as I film this right now, I'm filming this on Friday. The moon is in Cancer, making a nice stabilizing trine to Saturn, thank God. It's been a really wild week astrologically, a lot of things going on, a lot of things shifting, and it's a lot to integrate. And I think that this new moon in Leo weekend it's honestly a really beautiful chart. I like it a lot. I feel like the new moon in Leo is like a positive punctuation of the more optimistic parts of what's going on in this moment in time, and is helping us to see the changes that are happening in a more positive way. And there's a lot of changes happening, and that's because we've had so much activity around Uranus. Oh my God, we had Venus square Uranus over the last couple of days. Before that, we had Mercury. Before that, we had Mars conjunct Uranus in the middle of July. It's been so much Uranian energy, and Uranian energy is fundamentally destabilizing. It's meant to literally come and shatter the way that you've done something before, the conventional way that you do something, and replace it with something innovative and new. But there's something that's really kind of jarring about that and very confronting. So we're doing a lot of internal assessment at this time. We're doing a lot of upgrading, evolving, and yeah, cheers guys. It's a lot. Before I get into all of that in detail, I wanted to let those of you that are not aware of it that I have started a monthly membership, and it is so much fun over there. So if you've been looking for an online astrology community, I have created one. We have a community forum where you can meet other people. We're in there talking about tarot and astrology. You can post your chart and get responses and answers to your questions about it. You also have free access to all of my astrology courses, and I put out weekly forecast videos over there to start out your week, where I go into all of the aspects in depth. We have a tarot reader over there, Nick Xavier. He's doing bi-monthly tarot forecasts so you can learn the tarot deck at the same time. It's so much fun. So I'll put the link to it in the description. You can also reach out to me at my website for readings if you want to book a one-on-one session with me. All right, guys, let's talk about this new moon in Leo. I love this new moon. I really do. Whenever I open a chart and I see an aspect in a positive way to the North Node, particularly a new moon, I get really excited, because a new moon is a new cycle. It's like a new wave. Think of like sets of waves. A new moon is a new wave that's going to travel far into the future, particularly over the next 6 months, where it will bloom and crash in a full moon 6 months from now in Leo. So this is a new moon. We're catching a new wave, and this new wave is trying the North Node, and the North Node is the gateway into the future that represents a new area of evolutionary growth. So this is not an area that the soul knows how to do. It's an area that the soul is learning how to do. And by aligning ourselves with that gateway, we're aligning ourselves with the stream of soul evolution, which brings in synchronicity and helps us align on our soul journey. When we resist that growth, which is really common because growth is scary, it represents insecurity because it's something that's unknown. When we resist the North Node, that's when things start to get weird. That's when we start to encounter blocks in our growth and stagnation and drama and all sorts of stuff, because the universe is literally pushing us towards the North Node. It's pushing us towards our growth, because that's the whole point in being here. That's the whole point of the human experience, is to grow. So to have a new moon, and a new moon in Leo, no less, in positive support of the North Node, that means that this is a new wave going in the direction of our soul purpose. and it's in Leo. And Leo is that beautiful archetype that helps us harness strength and courage. And Leo rules from the heart. So it's that beautiful heart chakra energy that reconnects us with the joy of being alive through the channels of our expression. So this is a new cycle that helps us get, I feel like, more energized and excited and passionate about our growth right now, even if the growth that we're going through is difficult. And for many people, it might be. So let's actually talk a little bit about that part of it all. So here we are on Friday. Over the last couple of days, Venus squared Uranus. And Venus square Uranus can be difficult for a couple of reasons. First of all, Venus rules relationships, so many people are probably going through shifts in the way that they view relationships, the way that they view matters of the heart. Uranus can bring in unexpected shocks and surprises, but more commonly, Uranus does so through shifts in perspectives. So it's just like a new way of seeing things comes in, and it's sort of like a wrecking ball to how things were going before. And that obviously shifts the timeline, which is a really good thing in the end. But while it's happening, sometimes there can be this like, oh gosh, what's going on? I have to assimilate all this information. I have to upgrade. I have to reboot. Now, more generally, Venus rules our values, and our values are like our moral code systems, our ideas of right and wrong. And our values really shape a lot of our life experience. I mean, our values help us decide what experiences we want to have, because some experiences are not for us. It does, we don't value it. It's not interesting to us. We don't agree with it. And then other experiences we do value. So we obviously welcome more of those, and we want to have more of those experiences. Well, the square to Uranus is shifting our values at the moment. So our previous values, our previous ideas of right and wrong are going through a change. How this presents itself in our reality is typically it's a trigger, to be honest. A trigger is when we come in contact with something that goes against our values. It's like, oh no, I don't like that experience. I don't want that type of relationship. I don't receive that way. Whereas Uranus is coming in and saying, are you sure? Are you sure that that experience is not for you? Maybe it wasn't for you before, but can we be open to trying something differently? That's the energy of Uranus, but the ego resists it and is like, no, I don't want to. That's not how I operate. I operate this way. And Uranus is really pushing that edge of like, it's time to release how you have previously seen the world, because there is a new way of seeing the world that might scare you right now, but ultimately it is sort of the upgraded evolutionary path. So it's a triggering time. And if you aren't following the astrology, it just might be like trigger central recently. Like the last few weeks, it might just be like wave after wave of like, oh my gosh, this is just all very new to me. This is asking me to really look at things in a way that I haven't seen them before, to open myself to new levels of understanding. But yeah, I mean, if you're somebody with like a ton of fixed earth signs, you might be really rocked at the moment, because there might just be like wave after wave of something that the old version of you just doesn't really understand or doesn't feel comfortable with. So that's been going on. So we're going through relationship shifts. We're going through our values shifting around. Then another thing that we have happening with this new moon in Leo, we have Mercury going retrograde the same day as the new moon. So right now, Mercury's at 3. It's going to go to 4 and go retrograde at 4 degrees. Mercury will then go back and square Uranus again right there, middle of August. Middle of August is wild, you guys. Oh my God. That week, like August 17th, all the way through here, is probably one of the most intense weeks of the year. Just saying. Mercury goes back to 21 degrees, then it goes direct and makes one more square to Uranus early September right there. So all this to say, the squares to Uranus are not over. So we're going to be asked to repeatedly expand our perception and repeatedly be willing to admit that maybe the way we've always seen it is not the way. Look at that. Jesus, early September, Venus on the south node. Oh my God, it's all happening. Anyways, so yeah, I really feel like this new moon in Leo is this new opportunity to reconnect with a sense of strength and confidence, and to reconnect with the heart to help us navigate all of the growth that's going on. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and a share. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.